feed. So what we've got here, we have a lot of great content for you this week, as we always do. And we need to find out what our question of the week is. What is our question of the week, Dave?
What do you want it to be?
Well, you brought up a few of them.
I did.
Through Messenger.
I did.
And the one that we haven't done yet, I don't think, is what is your favorite place to eat here in Fort Wayne?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's
do that. If you've got an answer to that question, what is your favorite place to eat here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, for those local listeners, feel free to give us a call at 260-424-8728. That's 260-424-8728 to answer that question. Or to comment on any of the stories you hear us talk about.
Absolutely.
We're still going to ask you.
Yep.
What your favorite place to eat is.
Yep, and that will be one of the first.
And if anyone says McDonald's, I swear to God. There's so many other great places to eat. We just went to the Bourbon Street Hideaway.
That's one of my favorite places.
That was greatly expensive. But it was fantastic. I had a wonderful blue cheese encrusted salmon fillet. Oh my goodness, was that fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I like their...
So, and my mouth's watering right now.
Yeah, and your stomach will start growling momentarily. So yes, I've eaten there, I think, twice, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. And
any of their Cajun food, any of their, like, genuine, like, down from the bayou.
Oh, yeah.
Real, it's so good. And it is spicy, so if you don't like spicy food, be careful.
I haven't been the biggest fan of blue cheese. I love spicy food. Mm-hmm. But blue cheese has not really been my cheese of choice. And I love cheese. My grandfather used to eat it by like the wedge, and I was like, "Wow, dude, that color's not right. That got blue in it. It's literally got blue in it."
Yes, it has.
It looks moldy. And he's like, "Well, cheese is mold, you dunce." So it's only recently that I've started to develop my palate around blue cheese and those stronger cheeses and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like really sharp aged cheddar, I love. That's no problem at all. But Gorgonzola and some others.
I've never even heard of that. What is that?
Gorgonzola?
Yeah, where's it from?
It's
what is
cheese.
It?
I'm not sure exactly where it's from. It's a type of cheese. I don't think it's specific to a region. You can make it, but it's I don't know. Someone call in and tell me what Gorgonzola is made out of.
There we go.
Is it cow's milk or goat's milk or it's one of the 4-legged milked creatures. So, to tell me what Gorgonzola cheese is made of, ask your people on
4-legged milked.
Yeah, 260-424-8728 to tell me which 4-legged milked creature Gorgonzola is derived from. Yes, I know it's more complicated than just squeezing out cheese from a teat. But the milk has to come from somewhere.
Yes, it has.
Do we got sound on the stream?
It says audio gone again.
Gone again?
Gone again, that's what it says.
All right. I don't know what to do about it. It's there. I can see it.
Anyway, my
favorite happens.
Place.
I'm gonna stop the stream and restart it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start the stream again. We'll see how this goes.
Okay.
If it works. If it's in and out, look, I've got all the stuff. I used a different audio input for the podcast last night when I recorded it through this same program.
Oh yeah.
So it didn't like that this time because it wasn't connected.
Well, it
didn't have any input for sound. I had to change the input.
Uh-oh.
So.
Gotcha. I mean, see, computers just baffle me. I can't computer. It's not my thing. If it just decides not to work, I'm not into repairing them. Just forget it. I'm over it.
I get it. Mm-mm. So we restarted the stream. So if you're listening to that, check it out. If you're listening on the radio, of course you're listening on 95.7 FM, WELT Fort Wayne Community Radio. It's a great place.
It is. I love it here.
It's comes to you from downtown library from downtown library. Welt comes to you from the main library downtown and via the tower at IPFW. It's generously funded by ESCO Communications as well as the Friends of the Library. I encourage all Allen County residents to come to any branch library and pick up a book and read it.
Yep. That is what books
during
are good
normal business hours.
You had to add in mine because I didn't.
Yeah.
That's just the way these things work.
Yeah. Well, before we get to the stories, I want to let you guys know that you can go to facebook.com/workingreader957 and find the Facebook page. Give that a like for the show. That's facebook.com/workingreader957. And there you can find the 3 Sunday spotlights I have up on there. That is, one photographer captured a decade of surreal 1930s car crashes.
Oh, wow.
Out of Boston, as far as I'm aware. Another one is you can see photos from the aftermath of the Japan earthquakes, which is something I want to talk about seriously next week. We'll have a big old story coming for you guys next week about earthquakes, as well as fracking. And what is being done about it.
Looks like our audio problems are fixed on feed.
Good. And then the last Sunday spotlight is from InStyle.com. It's 5 feminist documentaries to watch now on Netflix.
Oh.
So check those out. You can find those at facebook.com/workingreader957. As always, on the tweeters and the Instagrammers, you can find us at Working Reader, and feel free to comment on the live chat on the YouTube live stream. And
Let us know you're listening.
I'll read out those comments. If you're listening and watching the live stream, which I know at least 4 of you are, hop on over and chat with us on there. Drop us a message. Say hi. We'll say hi back.
We will.
Yeah.
We'll even have a conversation with you.
It's good stuff.
We would like that.
Yeah. So, what's going on here? What do you got? You got anything good?
I have.
Or you just got stuff?
I've got stuff. This one's an interesting one. This comes to us from, what does it look like here? Oh, who published it? Who's this out of? I think it's Weird News.
Yeah.
And it's 10 secret alien bases around the world. And this is really interesting. These are visual, so I will actually have these posted to the Facebook so you can see the aerial shots. But here we are. Number 10 is Pine Gap, and I have no idea where that is. The majority of UFO conspiracy theories originate in the United States, whose populace have good reason to mistrust their government and military. But hey, these shady members of the establishment wherever you go in the world. Which is why, for years, ufologists, they made up a word right there. I'm not kidding, that's what it says.
Is it ufologists? I think it is.
Ufologists.
I think so. No, I honestly think it is. I think it is.
Ufologists.
From what I've watched of Ancient Aliens on the History Channel.
I haven't watched all of that. I got
ufologists.
Ufologists. I'm sorry, that sounds like an insult. It really does.
It follows gist?
Yep.
I don't know.
There you go. Have been asking questions about Pine Gap base in Australia. Run by both Australian and American military personnel, found way away in the outback. Nobody actually knows what happens there.
Watch me whip. Watch me way.
It opened in the 70s with a staff of 300, which has tripled in the intervening years. Members of NASA have gone to work there. Pine Gap's official title is that it is a Joint Defense Space Research Facility. Really? That's interesting.
Hey, cool.
Number 9 is Portendown, excuse me. Hey, what should the Yanks and the Aussies have? Why should the Yanks and the Aussies have all the fun? Whilst the former colonies get the lion's share of the military alien conspiracy theories, Great Britain isn't short of UFO sightings either. Ooh, this is cool. Which is to say, Britain has a dodgy government, military, and I love that they say dodgy. There is a lot of countryside and farmland full of drunk and or gullible people.
An MP was kicked out of Parliament because he called Dave Cameron Dodgy Dave on the floor and refused to take it back.
All right.
Yeah, because Dodgy Dave's a word that I can't say on the radio.
We like the FCC here. We're going to be nice to them. Let's see. Number 8 is HAARP, HARP. Let's see. When
that's AARP, but for hot old people.
Oh my God, that's so bad. Oh no.
Yeah.
Dave, stop.
Get your grannies in HAARP.
Oh, see, no, thank you, I'm fine. Let's see. When something is the subject of a Muse album title, it is now not so much conspiracy theory as, well, just a conspiracy theory, but the eternally paranoid Matt Bellamy has something to wail about and play unnecessarily long guitar solos over. Okay. What, do you have a problem with Matthew Bellamy? What's the matter with you?
What about Bill Bellamy?
I've never heard of him.
I think he's a sports guy.
Well, that would be why I don't know.
Yep.
Let's see. This is the place known as the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program is just a front for something else. This is the theory. Ooh. Well, there's a lot of people out there who have thoughts about what exactly its hidden use is, and nobody can agree. Bellamy and company reckon it's a secret mind control base.
Dang.
Well, I don't actually know that much about what Matthew Bellamy believes.
Or secret mind control.
You know.
I've never done it.
Let's see.
I don't know anything about secret. Maybe it's fun. Maybe it's like, I like My Little Pony now or something, Wouldn't that make one happy?
I don't know. It makes some people happy. My daughter seems to really enjoy
Friendship is
this.
happiness.
Yep. Number 7 is Nazi Base 211, Antarctica. That's curious.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Alaska has like an overwhelming... Alaska has like the most UFO sightings and reports of anyone in the world. It's like
Sure.
What is it? A bunch of federal authorities and global authorities visit there often to investigate these claims that people have been seeing aliens and so on. Fourth Kind was based on that, which was a really interesting film. I'm actually kind of startling in places.
I mean, that's the one thing. This whole thing is the one thing that Hillary Clinton's campaign is pushing for ultimate transparency on. Whether or not we've made contact with UFO alien species.
Hillary, that's cute. I'm sorry, that's cute.
I would love to know that too.
So would I, but she's not one to talk.
No.
I'm sorry, that shouldn't be leaving her mouth. That's just ridiculous.
You want to talk about transparency?
Yeah, I guess she does.
How about those transcripts?
Alrighty then, how about it? That's okay.
Sorry.
The Nazi base in Antarctica. Let's see, of course the Nazis had a secret UFO base in Antarctica.
Of course.
That just makes sense. Everyone realizes that Iron Sky and Raiders of the Lost Ark were based on true stories, right? Well, maybe not. The Third Reich did express a lot of documented interest in all things occult and paranormal, assuming such powers might help them with the war. That is a very arrogant stance to take, but they were kind of famous for that.
This Spear of Destiny and all that stuff, and
working for the Spear of Destiny.
yeah.
The leisure suit Lucifer from Constantine. I love the way he was depicted. That was so cool. Let's see. What's our next one here? But
yeah, no, that Nazi base. Some people believe that the Nazis have a secret base under the ice in Antarctica, like a mile down, and they're still operating it today, in secret, rebuilding their strength and communing with aliens.
That's what I'm going to be the first person to tell you I do not know for certain that that's not the case. No matter how improbable it sounds.
Sure.
Which is why it's funny. I can't disagree. Like,
hey guys, there's a secret Nazi base under the ice in Antarctica.
Didn't you know that?
Wow. They're totally talking with aliens.
They are. They're going to send us to the moon.
Why stop at the moon? Go all the way to Mars.
Oh man. Oh no.
Man.
This is getting ridiculous, guys. Number 6.
And I like nerds.
That just makes me think of Gavin McInnes, but I'm going to leave that there. Oh, no. Oh, number 6 is RAF Staffordshire. That sounds, United Kingdom. All right, military of...
Hence the big Union Jack flag that was on that article.
That's appeared like 5 times.
Has it?
Mm-hmm. That's why I wasn't assuming anything.
Fair enough.
Let's see. The Military of Defense files revealed...
Ministry.
It says Military of Defense
files losers.
Revealed spinning and hovering UFOs in the area, sightings which occurred over a period of days in 1993, referred to as the Cosford Incident, after the base happened near. Policemen saw it and filed reports, and cross-referenced with other RAF bases in the area, and confirmed no flights at that time. That is curious.
Yeah.
All right, and number 5, Newfoundland condemned iron mine. Ooh, that's cool. That sounds like it has more creepy things than just aliens happening. Canada probably enjoys all the attention their neighbors to the south get. It means nobody's paying attention to their own secret alien bases. a long-held belief amongst ufologists,
excuse
me, that the Great White North itself has a whole series of these clandestine complexes. It's said that there are entrances to be found at Lake Ontario off of Parliament Street, downtown Toronto, and an abandoned iron mine in Newfoundland. Admittedly, police do try to dissuade people from sneaking down the ladder, but it could be because it's condemned and they don't want people dying during a cave-in. Well, that could be reasonable.
Wow.
But never mind.
Wow.
Let's see. Number 4 is the Grand Canyon. I didn't even know that.
Come on.
This one seems obvious when you think about it.
Really? Really? It seems obvious?
Let's see. Where was I on this? According to reports from the Arizona Gazette, from the beginning of the 20th century, there's a whole city down there amongst the caves. And in this case, this isn't so much the U.S. military carving something out where they can chill with extraterrestrials and maybe learn some of their secrets. The aliens were their way before anyone else. All right. Let's see. Number 3 is Kapustin Yar?
Kapustin Yar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that word, actually. I've probably heard it. I haven't seen it.
I heard it in a movie. Probably about this topic.
It probably was, given the nature of it. Here's a freebie for all the budding science fiction authors out there. A Cold War fought between the East and the West, both of them utilizing UFO technology. They found independently of each other and kept a secret from the world and then exploited, like an ancient alien conflict playing itself out on Earth beyond the stars. Pretty good, huh? But it's not far from the truth, or so some conspiracy theories would have you believe. The only country in the world that has America beat for shadowy military bases around and ethically troubling practices is Russia. And
no.
Imagine that.
Of course!
Number 2, Dulce Base.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, did you really? Oh, no.
You got it?
Yes.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Come on.
It was good, and you walked into it face first. You got a free joke handed to you right there.
And I caught it and ran with it.
Yes, you did.
I spiked that joke right in the end zone.
That's actually a really funny mental picture.
Yep.
All right. There's a theory that North Koreans are very happy and probably even fund new stories about how ridiculous they are, and actually want to draw attention to films like The Interview. That way, people are thrown off from the terrible stuff they really do. In that case, the amount that Dulce Base has appeared in popular fiction seems like misdirection, I think the author meant, but that's not what it says. I will edit for you on the air. But then again, there's no smoke without
military
fire.
Of defense.
Like I said, it's just I'm going to start correcting this guy.
Yep.
Let's see. There's no smoke without fire and all that.
No.
Regardless of its appearance in everything from comic books, The Invisibles, to the video game Ghost Recon, Future Soldier, there's definitely something weird going on underground in the facility under Artulia Mesa, the Colorado-New Mexico border, or so says Paul Benoit.
Sure.
I don't know what that has to do with North Korea, but
no idea either.
Number 1 is Area 51, of course, and I'm just going to leave off there. What have you got for me, Dave?
I've got 17 science fiction books that forever changed the genre.
I love it. Let's go.
I like books and I like lists, and list of books is the best of two worlds. Yes. So, we're going to do it.
All right.
Number 1, as always, is fun. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams.
Who couldn't live without that book?
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. I have my towel.
Great.
I have my towel.
The first, maybe only science fiction comedy multimedia phenomenon, Hitchhikers. By the way, this is from Lifehacker.
Okay.
Lifehacker's reporting on this one.
Good to go.
Hitchhikers was a radio drama before it was a book, and the book sold 250,000 copies in the first 3 months. The Guardian named it one of the 1,000 novels everyone must read, and a BBC poll ranked it 4th out of 200 in their Big Read poll. Wicked. I love it. Jules Verne is next.
Oh,
shame. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is number 2. Verne's whole career is full of works that have inspired generations of authors, but this tale of the underwater adventure of Captain Nemo and the Nautilus has also had a profound effect on science and inspired real scientific advancement. That's very true.
It is true.
In the introduction to William Butcher's book, Verne's Journey to the Center of the Self, Ray Bradbury wrote that, quote, "We are all, in one way, children of Jules Verne. His name never stops, and at aerospace or NASA gatherings, Verne is the verb that moves us to space."
Thank you, Bradbury.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's great. Number 3, Dahlgren by Samuel R. Delany, 1975.
I can't say I've actually heard of that.
I've heard of it,
Okay.
not read it.
I think I should read it.
It is considered a masterpiece of science fiction. Sam Anderson prefaced his interview with Samuel R. Delany with this praise for Dahlgren's impact. Quote, "In the 35 years since its publication, Dahlgren has been adored and reviled with roughly equal vigor.
Alrighty,
It has been cited as the downfall of science fiction, by Philip K. Dick, once called it the worst trash I've ever read,
All right.
turned into a rock opera, dropped by its publisher, and reissued by others. These days, it seems to have settled into the groove of a cult classic. In a foreword in the current edition, William Gibson describes the book as, quote, a literary singularity, and Jonathan Lethem, Lethem, Lethem?
Yeah, there you go.
Called it, quote, the secret masterpiece, the city book labyrinth that has swallowed astonished readers alive. That's pretty high praise.
I see the equal vigor thing happening there.
Yeah, before we continue, I just want to reiterate for those of you who are watching the stream who didn't get it before, the number for the show is 260-424-8728 to answer our question of the week, which is,
what is your favorite place to eat in Fort Wayne?
Yeah.
Let us know.
So please do.
Comments, questions, phone call?
If you've got a book that doesn't make this list, or if you know of another UFO crazy hotspot, let us know. Call us 260-424-8728, and we'll answer right away with all the fanfare due.
Yes, absolutely.
Number 4 was War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells.
Absolutely.
Now, I would argue that H.G. Wells is better than Jules Verne and deserves a higher place in this list. Jules Verne wrote about stuff that could happen, going deep underwater.
Oh, yeah.
H.G. Wells wrote science fiction.
True science fiction.
Have you ever seen an invisible man or met one?
No.
Exactly.
There's probably a reason.
It's fiction. Yeah. But War of the Worlds, number 4 specifically, is from 1898. In his book about the War of the Worlds, a seminal look at the invasion of Earth by Martians, author Brian Holmsten states, quote, since 1898, the War of the Worlds has been translated into countless languages, adapted by comic books, radio, film, stage, and even computer games, and has inspired a wide range of alien invasion tales in every medium. Few ideas have captured the imagination of so many people all over the world in the last century so well.
That's
very true.
It is. It's extremely true.
You cannot ignore the power that War of the Worlds has. I mean, we listened, when I was a lot younger, we listened on the radio, or we listened to a tape of the War of the Worlds thing that was done on the radio live.
Yes.
And learned about how everybody freaked out about it. Because
they did. They started.
Even though it was prefaced very hard with the fact that this is
fiction.
It's a radio play. Yeah. Don't freak out.
But because of when it came out, it was very difficult to convince people otherwise.
Absolutely.
Especially because the radio at that time was definitely a lifeline for other real emergency situation kind of things.
Yeah.
So when it started being recounted that there were actual aliens landing here, I'm pretty sure people did just lose it.
And it was sounded all very official.
Yes.
And the city names were all real and all the stuff. But before we get to number 5, again, you're listening to the Working Reader Call-In Hour with Dave and Leah.
Welcome.
Yeah, 95.7 FM, Fort Wayne Community Radio.
Let us know.
Yep.
That you're listening, that you're out there.
Chat, guys. I know you're out there. There's a YouTube live chat. Call me names. It's fine. Do what you want. Number 5 is Foundation by Isaac Asimov.
Yes.
Foundation is a sweeping tale of psychohistory and the battle for intellectual soul of civilization. And according to the BBC, quote, the Foundation series helped to launch the career of 3 notable science fiction authors of the succeeding generation. Janet Asimov sanctioned these novels, which were published in the late 1990s. Foundation's Fear by Gregory Benford, Foundation and Chaos by Greg Bear, who is a fantastic author and I love very much, and Foundation's Triumph by David Brin, who is also another wonderful science fiction author. I haven't read any Gregory Benford.
I haven't either.
And without a doubt, it launched the imaginations of countless other writers. So true. So true. Number 6, Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert Heinlein. Always a winner. The first science fiction work to enter the New York Times Book Review's bestseller list, Stranger sold 100,000 copies in hardcover and over 5 million in paperback. This book's influence can't be overstated. Arthur D. Clavati referred to Heinlein as a prototypical science fiction author, saying, quote, one of the ways human beings organize the world is by prototypes. We define a set of typical examples.
All right.
Does not compute.
Twister.
We define a set as a typical example and a bunch of other things that are like it. For instance, when I was growing up, the prototype writer was Shakespeare, the artist was Rembrandt, and the composer was Beethoven. In that way, Robert Heinlein has often been taken as the prototype science fiction writer, and as changes and new paradigms shake the field, he still sometimes represents the science fiction of the past. But yeah, definitely, for sure. Number 7, Dangerous Visions, edited by Harlan Ellison from 1967. This is a series that helped launch the careers of almost every major author of the new wave. The first volume includes Samuel R. Delany, Philip K. Dick, and J.G. Ballard.
Ooh.
In his introduction to the 2002 reissue of Ellison's anthology, contributor Michael Moorcock wrote of Ellison's collections. He, quote, he changed our world forever, and ironically, it is usually the mark of a world so fundamentally altered. Be it by Stokely Carmichael, or Martin Luther King Jr., or Lyndon Johnson, or Kate Millett, that nobody remembers what it was like before things got better. That's the real measure of Ellison's success. So, number 8, Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke. Another fantastic.
Another iconic name, yeah.
Absolutely. Arthur C. Clarke himself had reservations about this novel, yet it sold out in its first printing, 200,000 copies, in just 2 months after publication.
Wow.
Arthur Joe Walton writes about the first book to feature benevolent aliens who try to help the human race evolve by, quote, science fiction is a very broad genre with lots of room for lots of kinds of stories. Stories that go all over the place and do all kinds of things. One of the reasons for that is that early on there got to be a lot of wiggle room. Childhood's End was one of those things that expanded the genre early and helped make it more open-ended and open to possibility. Another classic series here coming in at number 9, Ringworld by Larry Niven. Up to the plate. Sorry, I got a little announcery on that one. 1970. Sam Jorgensen of The Guardian had this to say about Ringworld, the masterpiece that is centered around. Typo, editing in real time. Thanks for screwing up my show, you dunces.
Good catch.
I was just trying to think of one that would work.
Well, you know.
Took a little while to riffle through the deck on that one. Yeah. I've been watching a lot of magic stuff on YouTube.
All right.
Riffling is a thing where you just fan through the cards.
See, I always thought that was. I thought that was rifling.
Oh yeah, no, rifling is just taking things out and throwing them.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
Rifle through a drawer of tax returns or something to find the one you need before the auditors kick your door in.
You know. I'm sorry, that's a really funny mental picture.
All right, let's try this again. Sam Jorgensen of The Guardian had this to say about Ringworld, the masterpiece that is centered around a theoretical ring-shaped space habitat. Quote, Larry Niven's 1970 Hugo Award winner Ringworld is arguably one of the most influential science fiction novels of the past 50 years. as well as having had a huge impact on nearly all subsequent space operas. Ian M. Banks' Culture series, Alastair Reynolds' House of Suns are just two. The book has helped generate a multi-billion-dollar industry. Not wrong.
Indeed.
Not wrong. What's up here at number 10? The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin.
Ooh.
Haven't read it, or have heard of her, though.
Mm-hmm.
The Left Hand of Darkness was one of the most popular science fiction novels of the 1970s. This was published in 1969.
Oh, wow.
It won both the Hugo and Nebula Awards in 1969 for Best Novel, and established Le Guin's status as a major author of science fiction. Oh, those are two massive awards in the science fiction community. So, congratulations.
Yes, indeed.
Joe Walton again comments on this novel about interstellar diplomacy and anthropology. Quote, "The Left Hand of Darkness didn't just change science fiction, it changed feminism, and it was part of the process of the change of concept of what it is, or what it was to be a man or a woman." So that's fantastic. Number 11, Neuromancer by William Gibson, published in 1984. Hike!
Oh my god.
By 2007, this cyberpunk classic has sold more than 6.5 million copies.
Wow.
It's been adapted into almost every genre, and it's responsible for introducing numerous terms and arguably the idea of the internet. The Encyclopedia of New Media calls Neuromancer more important than On the Road in its cultural influence, and credits its formative influence on subsequent media from Wired magazine to The X-Files. After the initial invention of ARPANET, Paul T. Riddle writes, "The internet took shape due to impressionable students reading Gibson's stories and novels. Instead of whining and complaining about reading Robert Anton Wilson, they read Gibson and thought, you know, we can do this."
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wonderful. So, up yours, Al Gore. You didn't invent Jack.
That was actually the name of the author of On the Road.
Yeah?
Jack Kerouac.
Nice. That's right. Nailed it. Neil Stephenson's 1992 novel Snow Crash comes in at number 12 on this list. According to the New York Times, and I've got his latest book, Seven Eves, which I've still got to read.
Ooh.
Neil Stephenson.
Mm-hmm.
Quality writer. According to the New York Times, Stephenson's look at the way humans interact with digital worlds has a well-earned reputation for prescience. Sorry. Not it says pre-science, but that's prescience.
Oh, okay.
Snow Crash, quote, "Snow Crash was published way back in ancient 1992 and laid out many of the attributes of today's
the
online."
year you were born.
No, it wasn't the year I was born. I was born before that.
I like cracking jokes about how young
Jesus Christ. How young am I?
I know it's a lot younger than me.
Guess.
Oh, God. I'm, probably about 6 years older than you?
How old are you? Tell me your age now, woman on the air.
31.
Yeah.
Well?
I will be 27 at the end of May.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I'm still older, fatter, and broken than you are.
No.
Biologically, yeah, I probably am.
You're not older biologically.
Probably.
No.
Yeah, I'm dying a lot quicker than you are.
That doesn't mean you're older.
I'm taller.
Yes. And much more mature.
Totally, guys.
Are you guys
Snow Crash?
This?
Yeah, Snow Crash. Quote, "Snow Crash was published way back in ancient 1992. We already did this. And laid out many of the attributes of today's online life, including the metaverse, a virtual place where people meet, do business, and play, presenting themselves as avatars." You ever play? You know, I've never guessed. No one ever guesses I'm 27.
Hello.
It bothers me a little bit.
We go from talking about avatars, you know, nobody ever guesses that I'm this age.
Yeah.
And by the way, the green ones are sour.
One of the most, yeah. Right? Don't put it on backwards. It won't work the same. The most recent guess I got, screw this story,
oh my God,
was 42.
Really?
Teenager guessed I was 42 years old. I had a beard. I mean, I had my
What do you mean you had?
I have full beard.
Okay, well, you still do.
I don't call this a beard. This is 2 weeks worth of growth.
Okay.
This is nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's something, but it's nothing comparatively to what I've had.
You looked like Grizzly Adams there for a couple of weeks when we first started doing this.
Yeah, I did. It's ended. You can see it on the banner shot of the Facebook page.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, 42. I guess 42. I don't know if it was just the way everything broke as I got up out of a chair. Crick, crack, crack, crack.
Well,
or the noises I make when I sit down or something. Mm-hmm. Probably.
Yeah, you have to announce it. You have to make sure that everything is audible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even if I don't want it to be.
What was that?
That was a lip fart.
That's disgusting. Oh my god. Like I said, also very mature, folks.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes this show fun.
Yes, it is. Indeed.
Yeah. Do I want to keep? I mean, you want 17?
Yeah.
We don't have the.
We do. This is what we do.
We do.
No.
Do it. All right. I bow to the aged.
Oh, jeez. No, you're not.
If you're going to make the jokes about me being young.
Yep, I sure will.
Quote. All right, let's move on. Number 13, Wind Up Girl by Paolo Bacigalupi.
All right.
I swear to God, that's what that says. Bacigalupi.
You're not kidding. Yeah.
Okay, 2009.
All right.
Correct me on pronunciation by calling 260-424-8728 to answer our question of the week or talk about these books. Is there a favorite of yours that you like on it? Wind Up Girl. The growing trend of climate-focused science fiction and the greater attention to future problems in general owes a lot to this great book about the very real problem of future food shortages. In this okay, that's a new word, biopunk.
Okay, is this supposed to be like, I don't know.
Climate-focused science fiction. I can see that, biopunk.
Yeah.
Yet still dystopian, you know, and okay. In this biopunk SF novel, a Hugo and Nebula Award winner, by the way,
Ooh.
Emiko is a humanoid GM organism.
Okay.
General Motors organism.
Okay.
Who is enslaved as a prostitute in Thailand.
Okay.
She yearns for an escape. Niall Harrison, judge of the Arthur C. Clarke Award in 2006 and 2007, writes, Emiko is a stepping stone to the future. And by the logic of the wind-up girl, so are we all. From our point of view, it's hardly an optimistic conclusion, but it is, in the wind-up girl's terms, a very human one. And I can't recall another novel that has articulated the same vision of what it means to be human in the present moment with the same force. That's pretty cool.
I like that. I like the way that
pretty
was
cool. Number 14 is The Forever War by Joe Haldeman. 1979.
The Forever War. It sounds like us. Like America.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
I'm sure there's a Romanesque or Greek way we could say war in perpetuity or something, you know, perpetual.
Yeah.
Yeah, in perpetuum or something like that. Yeah.
Something, yeah. Well, there's always something in Latin, and it's always really, really weird. And according to Eddie...
I said Latin. What did I say? Roman?
Greek, yeah. Greek or Roman, but Latin, yes. It's probably what you meant.
Yeah.
But according to Eddie Izzard, it is a silly, silly language. Mm-hmm. How did they do so much with a language so silly? I'll have to show you that stand-up.
It's art.
Yes, he's my favorite.
He's great. I love his heels.
Yes, he's a professional transvestite.
Absolutely.
That means he can run about in heels and not fall over.
On cobbles. Yeah.
Oh, God. It feels like that. I hate wearing high heels.
So do I.
You shouldn't wear them. I mean, you're already, like, getting a nosebleed just from standing up.
Yep. The Forever War 1974 is a military science fiction novel by Joe Haldeman that follows the United Nations exploratory force being assembled for a war against an alien race known as Taurans. Michael M. Jones explains what makes this book distinct from previous works of military science fiction. Quote, The Forever War is a masterpiece of military science fiction and social observation applicable on numerous levels. While some aspects might be far-fetched, there's no denying that it's a powerful work. Mm-hmm. Oh, the next one? Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know how that got on there. It's not science fiction. Have you read it?
Yeah.
It's not science fiction.
No.
It's anyway, continue.
It might be considered in some circles, or at least by Lifehacker it is considered.
I guess so.
Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut Jr.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, for those of you...
KVJ.
We actually did talk about this earlier on in our series.
Yeah.
But it's much more biographical. It's very autobiographical, but it's also some fiction and some names changed and so on for,
Revisionist history.
Kind of, yeah.
In a way.
And it's largely that. There's nothing really science fiction-y about it. Vonnegut himself did personally get captured and was a prisoner of war in Germany, in Dresden. So what the book's material is comprised of is actually his experience. So there's nothing, it's sort of fiction, but it's mostly like he actually went through it. It's embellished. Yes, he was there.
Salon's Michael Schmidt writes about the way Vonnegut changed the war novel by using aspects of science fiction. Doris Lessing calls him moral in an old-fashioned way. He has made nonsense of little categories and unnatural divisions into real literature and the rest, because he is comic and sad at once, because his painful seriousness is never solemn.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, his acknowledgement and expression of the nuanced nature of experience makes him, quote, unique among us, and these same qualities account for the way a few academics still try to patronize him.
Mm-hmm.
As though what he does is easier than the resolved plotting of more derivatively artful novelists. It's not.
I don't know.
It's not easy. If anything, it's just as difficult as writing a traditional plotted out novel. After a school tried to ban his novel, the Kurt Vonnegut Memorial Library offered 150 free copies of the book to students in Rockville, Missouri.
I've actually been there. I got to see the Kurt Vonnegut Memorial Library.
Nice.
It is such a cool place to go. It's got his his handwritten manuscripts and some typeset manuscripts. His actual personal typewriter that he always used.
Wow. Is it a Royal, perchance?
Not that I can recall. It was made in the 1970s, and I actually
electronic typewriter.
Yep. And I half expected it to have a thick smear of cigarette smoke tar because he smoked just profusely. He was a chain smoker to the...
It contributed to his death, right?
I imagine it did, but he actually... Okay, here's a quote from one of his books that I dearly love.
Or at least his quality of life.
Oh, he was not a very healthy person. He actually looked rather like a prune with curly hair. He was... there towards the end, he was a very interesting character, just always for his whole life. But one of my favorite quotes from him actually regards cigarette smoking, which I found very funny. He said, no, here's the news. I'm going to sue the Brown & Williamson Tobacco Company, manufacturers of Pall Mall cigarettes, for $1 billion. Because since the age of 12, I've never chain smoked anything other than unfiltered Pall Malls. And for years now, right on the box, Brown & Williamson have promised to kill me. But I am now 82. Thanks a lot, you dirty rats. The last thing I wanted was to still be alive.
Yeah.
Was to still be alive when the three most powerful people on the whole planet would be named Bush, Dick, and Colin. That's my favorite Vonnegut quote.
That is the best quote.
It's one of my favorites.
It is the best quote.
It's really...
That's great.
He wanted to be dead already, was his point.
R.J. Reynolds now owns Pall Mall. Just so you know.
Here we are. Vice trivia while we're at it here.
How do I know that? Well, I was a smoker for a long time, too.
We get it, you babe.
Yep. Let me proselytize to you about the benefits of electronic cigarettes.
That's just funny.
It's great. I can breathe again.
Well, so can I. Drink 5
Now that I'm vaping, you can breathe again?
Yes, you were killing me.
Yep. All that secondhand stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, number 16. We're getting here to the end. The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury.
Yes.
I'm really surprised Fahrenheit 451 wasn't on this list because that novel, killer.
Was it science fiction though, or was it like more?
It was a cautionary tale, but with elements of science fiction in it. So if you're going to have things like Slaughterhouse-5 in there, why not have 451 in there?
You know what? You're right. Absolutely. That should have made it.
Yeah.
Worked right. Hey,
so stuff it, Lifehacker.
Yeah.
You suck. No, the list overall is pretty good.
It is.
There's so many great books that it's hard to nail them down because, The Martian Chronicles by RB. 2 words. Sounds like...
Oh, no.
Around 1950. Ray Walters.
I gotta get it together. I'm so glad I'm not on TV.
Yet.
I know.
That's coming.
We're going to be on public access, by the way.
Yeah.
We just found out.
By the second half of May, we'll be on public access. Taped shows will be on public access here in Fort Wayne. So, Ray Waters at Geek.com explains why this book, The Martian Chronicles by was influential on not just literature but also science. Quote, The Martian Chronicles is a collection of loosely related fictional stories depicting a humanity's struggle to flee from the potential of nuclear war on Earth to try and find refuge on the Red Planet. As a one long run-on sentence.
Yes.
Many of the ideas Bradbury put forth in the novels seem fantastical at the time, but modern-day efforts to explore Mars smack of science fiction writers' vision of what it would be like to visit there. So, cool stuff.
Very.
Yeah. And rounding out the list at number 17 is Dune by Frank Herbert.
Of course.
Get those sandworms.
Mm-hmm.
Obelisks and monoliths and stuff like that. Scott Timberg, that's from 1965, by the way. Scott Timberg of the LA Times says Frank Herbert's epic novel in which noble houses battle for control of each other's planets was not just massive but groundbreaking. Quote, writers had imagined life on other planets and written of environmental catastrophe, but the scale of Dune was unprecedented, comparable, as Arthur C. Clarke said at the time, only to The Lord of the Rings. Fair equivocation there. It's not quite New Wave, which developed in the late 60s, not an antecedent to cyberpunk, nor a precursor to the recent space opera renaissance. It's some kind of singularity, says Latham.
They like that word.
Yep. Science-y.
It's science-y. Let's just make up a whole new language while we're at it.
Sounds good.
I like it.
Duneism. Dune both channeled...
Ufologists.
I'm telling you, that's what that word is.
I'm going to take your word for it.
Dune both channeled and stoked a greater environmental consciousness in SF. Important later novels by Ursula Le Guin, John Brunner, and Octavia Butler looked at planetary ecology. Dune won the Hugo Award in '66, as well as the very first Nebula Award. It's almost impossible to fit all of the most genre-changing works, science fiction and fantasy, into one article. Which books do you think should be on this list, and why?
Yeah.
451, you
dudes.
People. Dude people.
But yes, that wraps up that list. And
That's good.
It was good.
Good.
I do believe that Fahrenheit 451 should have been on there, and very possibly George Orwell's 1984.
Yeah.
That should have been on there. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World.
Mm-hmm.
Those were both very science fiction-y, but more in like a sociological way.
Yeah.
Because it had a little bit to do with technology, a little bit to do with the advancement of society.
Absolutely.
But it was more about the social aspect.
Right.
Like literal test tube babies, literal like lab raised and created human beings. Yes, from the appropriate substances, but raised in an isolated, very sterile environment and conditioned from birth to be the type of worker that they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like from the word go. And the idea behind Brave New World, I believe, was, and I think that's the one I'm thinking of as far as like the assembly line of humans. The overall was how people started to break out of that, out of their conditioning. And actually at the end of 1984 was very chilling, because you go through this whole story following this one character, and he's kind of starting to wake up from this hypnotic existence of always being very careful what you say, what you do, and you can't believe this and you can't disagree with that, and all of this conditioning, and he starts kind of breaking out of it, and by the end of the book he's, quote, he loved Big Brother. It was really, I mean, it made my blood run cold.
Yeah. Well, we got 10 minutes left in the show.
We've got 10 left.
I wanted to talk about the earthquakes that have been racking the world.
Yes, if you haven't been paying attention.
Thursday. Well, actually, all the way. I mean, you could go back to March 2nd. There was a 7.8 magnitude earthquake reported near Sumatra.
Man. This is a preview for next week's show, by the way, folks.
Yeah.
We're just going to dip into it a tiny bit.
April 14th, powerful earthquake hits Myanmar. No deaths reported the day after. Yeah, lots of damage. 6.5 magnitude earthquake on the 14th hits Vanuatu.
Don't think I've ever heard of that place.
It's off the coast of Australia. It's over in that chain of islands out there. 6.4. Yeah, no damage or injuries reported.
But it's 6.4 magnitude. Oh my god.
Yeah, Japan was hit with 2 earthquakes on Thursday and Friday. 2 days in a row.
They really can't handle any more of that. I mean, it's already bad enough with the radiation poisoning of Fukushima. And now they're getting hit again. I actually just read an article that goes along with this, that there's a mass exodus of Japan since these earthquakes. I mean, people are bailing out of there as fast as they can.
Yeah. They had 2. They had a 6.2 magnitude earthquake that shook Kyushu Island. And that is the province of Kumamoto Prefecture.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Friday they had a 7 point something. What'd they have? Oh yeah, they had a 5.4 aftershock.
Really?
Magnitude aftershock after that first one. And then they had I believe it was a 7.8 or 7.0 magnitude earthquake on Friday. Yeah. And then Saturday, Ecuador, off the coast of Ecuador, was hit with a 7 point. Yeah, that was the 7.0 magnitude earthquake hit Japan on Friday. 7.8, I think. Yeah. 235 people dead, over 1,500 injured after major 7.8 magnitude earthquake strikes near Ecuador coast. Yeah. That's pretty bad.
I have a listener suggesting that it is being caused by Planet X. I'm trying to get the commentary that goes along with that.
Sure. Sorry. It combines the ads on videos, things I don't need. Say that again. Sorry.
There's a listener suggesting that it is being caused by Planet X. I'm actually asking currently for verification of that.
I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Planet X hasn't been discovered. As far as I'm aware.
Yeah. Well,
so
a longer article. That will be very, very cool.
Yeah, hopefully eye-opening for some people on the dangers of fracking.
It's not. I mean, that's not even. I don't even know how that became a thing. That's just. It's obscene. It's stupid. It just. Why?
Corporate Democrats pushed for it. They just found the middle ground with these fossil fuel industry companies and said, sure, whatever. This is the bridge energy.
Okay.
My butt, it's the bridge energy.
Yeah, really.
You do it. You just do it. You do the alternative energy. You move to that 100%. And then, yes, there is going to be a swath of people that are affected by that change. But you got to do it. And we will get over that problem. People will survive. We will get them new jobs. We will get them new training. It needs to happen day 1, day 2. There needs to be a difference between the two. There's no bridge. You can't bridge this for 30 years on natural gas. You're releasing, and I've got statistics that show what pollution is released from fracking as well. And we're talking about methane into the atmosphere.
That is more dangerous than carbon dioxide.
By an order of magnitude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
And they're cracking these shale formations, and the shit's just bubbling to the surface.
Yeah.
And so that's gonna. I've got a lot on that for next week. So be sure to stay tuned to 95.7 WELT to listen to Queer Muse.
All right.
Another great show by another great DJ host on this channel. Comes on right after us, 3 o'clock. And what else we got? We got anything else quick? Oh, I had a PSA that I wanted to tell people about.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Department of DHS put this out.
Oh, about QuickTime?
Yeah.
I saw that, yes.
Government and Apple, by the way. The government this comes from Snopes.com. They're reporting on it. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security has sent out an urgent alert advising Windows users to uninstall Apple's QuickTime program. U.S. Department of Homeland Security The video and audio software once widely used to play movie trailers and other internet media clips due to two major vulnerabilities in the program that can allow hackers into people's computers. Apple has been periodically fixing bugs in QuickTime over the past several years, but Apple has pulled support for QuickTime on Windows, and their last update for the product came in late January 2016. QuickTime for Windows continues to work and is still available for download, but Apple and the DHS have urged Windows users to uninstall the program. Using unsupported software may increase the risks from viruses and other security threats, DHS said in their alert. The only mitigation available is to uninstall QuickTime for Windows. Over the past several years, QuickTime has largely been supplanted by online media platforms such as YouTube, Facebook, and Netflix. So wake up, grow up, and get rid of that old, outdated technology, please.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could run into some problems. And we don't want our listeners to have problems or they can't see the show. So,
and with that, you've heard why he issued that public service announcement. That's right. We want to increase our listener base. Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors. Let everybody know.
If you liked it, tell your friends. If you hated it, tell your enemies.
There you go.
And we'll take all of them.
Win, lose, or draw. Here we go.
If you believe in a flat earth, I hope you fall off the end of it.
Yes! I second that motion.
Mm-hmm. Second that emotion. And yes, we have the rights for that.
Oh, God. No.
What else? Anything parting shots wise? So there will not be a show on May 15th.
There will not be a show?
I will be traveling out of state. Unless you want to do one.
That's what I was actually just going to discuss with you on air. I have put it to the Facebook survey.
Sure.
I want people to answer. If I should do a show by myself, let me know.
Cool. Yeah,
And
I won't be here.
Yep, and I'm going to have that figured out well in advance, so don't worry. We will have a show one way or the other.
Wicked.
May 15th.
Cool.
And on that, we're going to sign off of here. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, this has been the Working Reader Call-In Hour with me, Dave.
And me, Leah.
Awesome. We'll see you all next time. We very much appreciate your listening and tuning in to us and catching us on YouTube and all the stuff. Facebook.com/WorkingReader957. Give that a like. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wicked.
Yes.
That was cool. Let me get
Those
this.
things would get so hot.
Yeah, right?
Like, I can feel...
Stop looking over here if you don't want the heat to be radiant.
Oh, jeez.
Makes your ears...
Get over yourself, Dave.
I'm only 27, guys.
Just kidding. Get over yourself, Dave.
Hi, YouTube. Thanks for being patient with the stream and stuff.
You know.
I apologize for the technical difficulties, but if you want to see why the input was wrong, you can watch the podcast I did last night. So, also a bunch more awesome books on the podcast too for you guys to check out. It's self-published works this time.
All right.
So, I spotlighted a bunch of new stuff on the new Book Beat segment that I'm coming out with.
All right.
So,
I like
stuff
to hear it.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out too.
Definitely. Well, we'll see y'all next time. We're cutting the stream now. Bye-bye.